So you wake up one morning and you have a brand new tattoo plastered on your body. And as you're thinking about what you were drinking the night before, you might also consider that there's a new friend in your life. You are now sharing your body with a copyright owner because that artist who you may have only met the night before now has a lot to say about photographing, publicly displaying, changing or modifying, or even removing that new piece of artwork that you just acquired. Hi, my name is Carr Ferrell. I'm a Silicon Valley intellectual property attorney. Welcome back to my channel. Stay tuned, and in this video we'll talk about the legal rights of tattoo owners and how to avoid becoming a free walking art gallery for a tattoo artist you may barely know. And stay to the end and we'll talk about some legal arguments and some hacks that may help out if you already have a tattoo. Once the tattoo gets inked into your skin, there are two bodies of law that control what can happen with respect to that tattoo. The first is copyrights. Copyrights, as the name suggests, gives the copyright owner the right to control copies, reproductions, and public display of the protected artistic work. But there's a second body of law that's especially concerning with respect to tattoos, and this is called moral rights. Moral rights is a century-old collection of legal ideas that protect the emotional and reputational connection between the artist and the artistic work. You'll really want to stay tuned to the end on this one because I'm pretty sure that the effects of moral rights on tattoo owners will really surprise you. As I've discussed on others of my videos, copyrights protect works of authorship, intangible medium of expression. In the case of tattoos, unless there's a written contract to the contrary, the tattoo artist is the copyright owner in the tattoo. In essence, the tattoo owner's skin becomes the mere canvas for holding the artistic work. The copyright owner, that is the tattoo artist, has three exclusive rights with respect to his artistic tattoo. They alone can copy or photograph the art, make derivative works of the art, that is, take the tattoo and put it on a t-shirt, for example, or display the tattoo publicly. These are the three exclusive rights of the copyright owner in a tattoo. So what does this mean? If you take a selfie of your tattoo and post it on Facebook, does that mean you're in violation of the copyright laws? Surprisingly, the answer is probably yes, since you've made a copy and you've displayed that copy on Facebook. These are two of the three exclusive rights of only the copyright owner and not of the owner of the tattoo. In 2011, Warner Brothers made a movie of the then highest grossing comedy of all time. The movie was called The Hangover. In the sequel, The Hangover 2, actor Ed Helms was playing boxing champ Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson is famous for having a tribal tattoo attached to the left side of his face. Warner Brothers in the movie had affixed the same Mike Tyson tattoo to the face of Ed Helms. Now, the original tattoo was copyrighted in 2003 and drawn on Mike Tyson by tattoo artist S. Victor Whitmill. And it was Whitmill who sued Warner Brothers for using his copyrighted tattoo in the Hangover 2 movie. Now, as in almost all copyright infringement cases involving tattoos, this case ultimately settled, but not before U.S. Federal Judge Catherine Perry, in an opinion allowing the case to go forward, clearly indicated that she thought Whitmill had a strong case of infringement against Warner Brothers, where it seems pretty clear that it is a copyright infringement to take a tattoo and put that tattoo image on a shirt and to sell that shirt, or to take a copy of that tattoo and post that tattoo in a gallery or on Facebook. What's less clear is whether it's a copyright infringement to take a selfie, that is, take a picture of your own body, of your own face, containing that tattoo and publicly displaying it. And although the statutory law would tell us that this indeed is an infringement, we really have no court guidance helping us understand the contours of this possible copyright infringement. So now I want to turn to this area of copyright law called moral rights. Moral rights law is particularly challenging because it seems so counterintuitive to our American system of capitalism and ownership. We buy stuff, we own stuff, we control stuff. But as I said, this concept of moral rights comes from a European tradition of emotional connection to art. And I think it's helpful to understand the roots of this tradition to fully appreciate the bounds and constraints of moral rights law on the visual arts and on tattoos specifically. Now, one of the important objectives of moral rights law is to protect the reputation of the artist. So in thinking about this, the artist has an interest in having the integrity of his artwork maintained. That is, avoiding changes to the artwork that would be embarrassing, or having the artwork defaced or possibly destroyed. Also, the artist has an interest in avoiding situations in which he or she would be embarrassed by where and how the artwork is presented or displayed. Moral rights protections are found both in federal copyright law as well as to a varying degree in various state laws. For example, both California and New York have statutory protections for the moral rights of visual artists. In fact, many of these laws fall into a category called Visual Artists' Rights Acts, or VARAs. Under these Visual Artists' Rights Acts, there's been some pretty interesting decisions. One particularly in Queens called 5 Points, where a group of graffiti artists received a court award of some $6.7 million because a building containing their graffiti art had been torn down without their permission. So by analogy, we can think of tattoo artists as having at least the same type of visual artistic rights that we would find in a group of graffiti artists, for example, in New York. So we'll need to be aware in changing or removing tattoos that this might affect the moral rights of the original tattoo artist. For example, if you have a tattoo inked across your neck that says, "I love Ike," and it turns out that Ike didn't work out and you decide to change it to "I love Mike," Ike and Mike aside, you also may be having a problem with the tattoo artist who did the original inscription. And a couple of other issues that could come up. Under moral rights laws, there may be a problem with removing the signature of the original artist. Or for example, since the goal of the moral rights laws is to protect reputation, having your tattoo appear in a pornographic movie may be a moral rights violation and actionable under moral rights laws. So as a tattoo owner, how can you be intelligent about buying tattoo art? Well, first of all, it's important that you hire a reputable tattoo artist. Really, the last thing you want is to have an infringing copyrighted image tattooed to your skin. If you're gonna get an image of Mickey Mouse inked on your body, make sure you put it somewhere the sun doesn't spend a lot of time shining. Also, before you get a tattoo, think about the contractual relationship with the tattoo artist. It might cost a little bit more to get an assignment of the copyrights, but it certainly could be worth it because you don't have to worry later about arguments over public display or copies of your tattoo, should you become a famous YouTuber, for instance. Now, one of the really strange things about moral rights is that you can't assign your moral rights away. The moral rights are always attached to the artist, and the artist can't give those away. He can't transfer those to someone else. So it's important when you negotiate a contract with a tattoo artist for the transfer of tattoo rights, that is, ownership of the copyright. It's not possible to get ownership of his moral rights, but what you can do is require that the tattoo artist agree that he or she is not going to sue you for a moral rights violation. But what if you already have a tattoo? Well, the really good news is that the law of tattoos is very unsettled. I think most attorneys would tell you that when you buy a tattoo, that tattoo comes with a very broad implied license to use that tattoo freely, as you normally would with the part of the body to which that tattoo is attached. It seems to me that this implied license would include taking photographs or videos, acting in a theater or being filmed, bodybuilding competitions. I think all of these activities would be reasonable expectations on the part of the tattoo artist when he contracted with you to sell you a tattoo. And it seems to me that if you've purchased a tattoo, that you have the same rights to display that tattoo as you would in displaying a painting in your front window that you had purchased and are very proud to show others. Okay, that's really all I have today to say about the law of tattoo. It's extremely interesting, although as I said, a bit unsettled. If you have thoughts or comments, either as a tattoo artist or a tattoo owner or just a tattoo lover, we'd love to read those in the comments section below. Thank you so much for joining me on the video today. Look forward to seeing you next time.